Okay, let's be real. We are all drowning in information. It's coming at us from everywhere all the time. But what if you could turn all that chaos into your most powerful creative tool? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're talking about how to build a second brain, a brilliant system designed by Tiago Forte to do just that. Let's dive in. So what's with this number? 76 hours. According to research from Microsoft, that is the average amount of time employees spend every single year just looking for notes and files they've misplaced. Think about that. That's almost 2 full weeks of work, completely vaporized. Gone. Does that feeling sound familiar to you? That frantic, sinking feeling as you're digging through old emails, random documents, a million bookmarks, trying to find that one brilliant idea you had? The source material for this has a great name for it: information exhaustion. It's that low-grade anxiety that you're always forgetting something important.
But here's the thing I really want you to hear. This is not a personal failure. Seriously, it's not about you having a bad memory or just not being organized enough. The problem is this system we're all trying to use, or more likely, the complete lack of a system. And the great news? That is something we can absolutely fix.
So what is this fix? Well, it's called a second brain. And no, it's not some sci-fi implant or anything like that. It's a really practical method for creating one single trusted place outside of your head for all of your most important thinking. So what is it, really? A second brain is just a centralized, external, digital system for all the knowledge you collect. I love this metaphor they use. Think of it like your own personal knowledge garden, a place where you plant ideas, you cultivate them, and you watch them grow into something amazing. And this quote from Tiago Forte just nails the whole philosophy. See, the goal isn't to turn your own brain into some kind of supercomputer. It's actually the complete opposite. It's about offloading that huge burden of remembering every little thing onto an external system, and that frees up your actual biological brain to do what it's best at. Imagining, creating, and just being present in the moment. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how do I actually build this thing? Well, the whole system is built on this really simple 4-step framework. It's called the code method. Let's break down what each of those letters means.
The 4 steps are capture, organize, distill, and express. CODE. Easy to remember, right? This is literally the engine of your second brain. It's the process that turns all that raw information you bump into every day into real, tangible, creative output. So let's take a look at each one.
First up, C is for capture. Now, this is not about becoming a digital hoarder and saving every single thing you see. The key here is to capture what resonates with you, the stuff that feels inspiring or useful or just deeply personal. Your intuition is the best filter you've got, so trust it.
Next, O is for organize. And this right here, this is a huge shift from how most of us normally file things away. Instead of organizing your notes by where they came from, like a folder for book notes and another for podcast ideas, you organize them for action. You file them based on the active projects in your life that they can help you with right now. It's a total game changer.
The third step, D, is for distill. So once you've captured and organized your notes, the goal is to find their essence. You're not trying to memorize everything. You're trying to find the core, the absolute heart of the idea. It's all about making your notes as easy to discover and as useful as possible for your future self.
And this is just the perfect visual for distillation. In this series of sketches, Picasso started with this super detailed, realistic drawing of a bull. But then, step by step, he starts stripping away the details, simplifying the shapes, until he's left with just a single, continuous line that still somehow captures the absolute essence of a bull. That is exactly what we're doing with our notes.
Now, this is a really crucial idea, and it might sound a little backward at first. By distilling your notes down, you're giving your future self permission to forget all the fluff. You're making the truly great ideas pop by letting all the merely good ones just fade away. It's brilliant. And finally, E is for express. Because let's be honest, this is the whole point, right? Your second brain isn't supposed to be some dusty digital library where ideas go to die. It is a launch pad for creation. It's all about taking everything you've gathered and turning it into something new that you can share with the world. Because that is the ultimate payoff here. This entire system is designed to fundamentally shift you from being a passive consumer of information into an active, confident creator who has this incredible wealth of material to draw from at any moment. What's so cool is how the CODE method perfectly mirrors the natural creative process.
Capture and organize. That's all about divergence. You're going wide, gathering ideas and possibilities. Then distill and express, that's convergence. You're focusing in, narrowing down, and creating a final output. It's a beautiful cycle.
And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. Look at how the most prolific creators actually work. Jerry Seinfeld, for example, famously kept every single joke idea he ever had in this massive accordion folder. And when someone asked him about it, he was just baffled. He couldn't imagine why anyone would ever throw that raw material away. To him, those notes were his single most valuable professional asset.
And this is why your notes become what the source material calls intermediate packets. These amazing, reusable building blocks of knowledge. An outline from an old project, some research from an article you read, they all become assets that you can mix and match for all your future work. And that means you never, ever have to start from a blank page again.
So you see, building a second brain isn't really just about adopting a new app or a new set of habits. It's much deeper than that. It's about cultivating an entirely new mindset, a new relationship with information, with knowledge, and with your own creative potential. And the source points to 3 huge mindset shifts that happen when you do this. You move from a feeling of scarcity to one of abundance, when you realize you already have more than enough great ideas. You move from obligation to service, where you start seeing your knowledge as a way to help others. And of course, you move from just consuming information to actively creating with it.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Your life experience, your unique perspective on the world, all those lessons you've learned, the ideas that light you up, that is your greatest, most valuable asset. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?